Welcome to Boots in Baltimore. I'm LeeAnn Blanchard. I'm here with Stefan Baker, owner of Realizeit1st. So tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do a number of things. We do more clean outs and cleanups. Small concrete jobs, small sidewalks. The city come around and they'll give you citations for the little blocks out front your house, and you got to fix that. We do that as well as steps. We kind of pivot between clean up, clean outs, and guts inside.
So residential cleaning on an ongoing basis, but then also one-time cleanouts. So for instance, if investors, landlords have tenants who've left a mess, you can get called in, or if they buy a new property and there were squatters in there, then you'd clean that out. Those kinds of situations.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Evictions and all of those things. Just to get the property ready. For someone to go back into them. For the realtor, for the customer, or whoever. Yeah.
So, do you work with demolition companies too? When they, tear down the walls, you're also hauling out, or do you do demolitions as well?
I do demolition, some demolition. Yeah, I've done full guts, full total guts. Early on, sometimes people aren't reliable, and we try to be as reliable and responsible as possible. And we kind of stick to our avenue until the walls open up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So is there anything that you don't haul?
I haven't come across anything. we sure haven't come across anything. So, I remember one time they were, when Lexington Market first went down, I have a cousin who worked in there. He was like, hey, you think, they was letting people come in and take stuff out of there. And it was a guy wanted, it was a piece of metal, that they had given to this guy. He was like, oh, you think you got, sure, I'll go get it. So I haven't come across anything, that I wouldn't haul.
So your company name is Realizeit1st. Yeah. How did that name come to be? What did you want it to represent?
I knew the COVID era was going to be a big thing, looking at all the news outlets and stuff. And I was like, and I got laid off, right? So I was like, what can I do? What can I do here? And I said to myself, oh, listen, I just got to realize what I got, what I have in front of me and what I have to do. And I said, well, it all comes from, everything comes from, you have to realize it and then, perform on it, So I was like, hey, that's kind of a cool name, I'll realize it first. So
absolutely.
It popped in. I said, pretty cool.
Well, so you mentioned a partner, Verlia. How did you partner up, and what is her specialty?
Well, her specialty is she's a clean freak. She's a neat freak. So, and it's crazy because like she's like, she be like, sometimes when we drive, she be like, look at this, they're just gonna throw trash out in the street, And so we partnered up because I told her, well, at the time, like I said, early on, I was doing work and then I had stopped and got a job. And that's how we met, through the job. And I was telling her, well, I got a business and yada, yada, yada. And she was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And she was, thinking, I want to start a business. And I was like, I don't think she's going to do this type of work, But, she's a trooper. So she like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, come on. And I just seen her work ethic. And, the way she troubleshoots, she think ahead and all of that. And I was like, that's awesome, So we did like a few jobs, and I was like, maybe we could do it together. Maybe we could, start something together. And that's how it started back up that's how I started back up. I was like, well, I got somebody by my side that's gonna troop it, trooper through it with me. So yeah.
So she was the real catalyst to get you back on track, owning your own business. And
True. So
then you
true.
decided to make that partnership permanent?
Yeah, so true. Yeah, yeah. I did. That's my fiance.
That's what I was hinting at.
That, oh, oh.
You gotta lock that down.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. That's the same thing I said. I said, I gotta hold on to this. Can't let this go.
No, no.
Yeah.
When you find a good woman, you gotta lock it
So true.
down.
So true. So true. Keep me grounded sometimes.
That's right. So, what do you wish more people knew about your business?
Well, I wish people, I wish they knew we were established in 2001, that we try to forge relationships with new and former customers, and give the best the best professionalism that we can give in any situation, whether it's a tire, meet and greets, and just the work period, keeping the space, just like, if I did work for you and you were to come through, things ain't everywhere. You can maneuver through so you can do what you need to do, and get back going. Uh, yeah.
Well, so I'm going to get a little personal here
Yeah.
because I did hire you. And
Yeah.
at the time, I had an investment property where there had been squatters, and
Mm-hmm.
it felt so overwhelming to me. I mean, the property was a mess. It was absolutely a disaster. And for me to walk through and just look at how somebody else had damaged and destroyed my property, it was visceral. I felt a little violated. I felt and I just was so emotional about, how could somebody do this? How could this happen? This is kind of tainting my dream of this particular property,
Yeah.
being and so I had a lot of feelings about it. And that made it really hard for me to want to go in and fix it, for me to solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so you came to me through a recommendation, and I just kind of turned it over to you, and then I didn't worry about it because somebody else was taking care of it. And when I came back, I mean, it wasn't gorgeous because it wasn't fixed, but it was clean.
Yeah.
It was bare. I could walk through without that feeling of impending doom
Right.
and that oppression of there's no hope, this is just a disaster. I finally, because it was kind of stripped out to just bare
Yeah.
walls, I could imagine again what it could be, and that gave me the impetus that I needed to be like, okay, yes, I can breathe now. I can imagine what it's going to look like fixed up. I feel like I can take this project on again.
Mm-hmm.
And that part of what you do, I think, isn't well communicated. But that idea of, I'm going to let somebody else take that burden from me. And it's not just the emotional side, it really is the physical side. You are lifting things, you're carrying things, you are hauling them away from whence they will never return, right? You're going to take this to the dump and it's going to be gone forever. And so I think about this, and you guys are such a great team, where there's this kindness and just niceness, calmness about both of you. We're like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. We're going to take care of this for you. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And you bring about this peace and this serenity amid the chaos. That's what I was trying to tell both of you, that this idea of you bring order out of chaos is
Mm-hmm.
so valuable, and people don't get it. Like, people don't
Yeah.
realize. I think
Yeah.
they kind of live in their mess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I think, it isn't just for the investor who has an entire house to clean out. It's also for this, single mom who's got a basement that hasn't been touched in 10 years.
Yeah.
Or somebody who's inherited this property from a family member who's lived in the property for 40 years, and there's just stuff everywhere. And that you could be included in that process of going through the things and moving the stuff and getting it out and getting that property ready. And that transition period of, we're going to come in and start the process of the new life or the new thing. I love it.
First of all, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so, when we get in there, and it basically, it goes back to the title of the company. You get in there and we give you this empty space to look at so you can realize what you want to do with it, as you did. And when we met, I said, calm down. It's going to be all right. We're going to be good,
So appreciated
and
it.
you were so overwhelmed. You had the anxieties. Hey, don't worry about it. I got you, And we went in, did what we did. When you came back, it was like, oh yeah, I see it now. I see it. It's gonna be okay.
Yes, absolutely. And for a very fair price, may I just say.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but we don't try to overcharge. A lot of people like to, I put a nail in the wall and that's gonna be $10, and I'm gonna do this. No, like, we're just trying to, be honest. We're definitely honest and professional, and and like I said before, we just like to forge new friendships, relationships with other vendors, venues, other people, other customers, other, like to the older people that, on a fixed income, that want that basement cleaned out, or they want that. She have a customer now that, he wanted his stuff cleaned out, and he want everything, everything clean to a T, which is cool. We're good with that, right? But it's so he could leave the house. He's an older gentleman, so he could leave the house to his daughter. And that was kind of like touching, like, whoa, But we, so we try not to, every nail and swept 3 times over here. You just get the job done and keep it pushing.
I really appreciate that. So, excuse me. So you're located in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Where is your service area? Like, how far out would you go?
Well, we up until this point, we've done jobs as far as DC, but we're definitely open-minded about travel, Delmarva area, right now anyway, hopefully, like I said, the walls will get wider. Right now, the DMV, we're good with that.
That's even broader than I thought. I thought it was Baltimore City and maybe a little bit into the county, but
well, listen,
farther
like
out.
I said, forging new, relationships with people, tend to take you outside of those borders, And sometimes when you deal with a lot of people in your space, it's, they're getting service from, other people that, might not be as professional. So when you meet them, they might come across like, it's, like I said, we as professional as possible, but it kind of turn you off sometimes. But you could just meet, once they figure out who you are, and talk to you and see, okay, these guys are different. Let me bring it down a notch, and then we could, hammer it out after that. I'm sure.
So if people have a job or just have questions and want to contact you, how would they get in touch?
Well, right now we're working on a website. We're definitely working on a website. But right now you email us at onebuilder.brand@gmail.com.
Okay. Numeral 1.
Yep, the numeral 1, builder.brand @gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so why are you in Baltimore? Why did you choose to locate your business in Baltimore?
Well, we both grew up in Baltimore, the west side of Baltimore. It's no better place. We love Baltimore, amidst all the chaos, but we strongly believe if you're not a part of the problem, then, be a part of the solution. So we're more or less in that frame of mind. But Baltimore is awesome. You got a lot of history here, a lot of great places. You ever take a ride over East Baltimore, it's different shaped homes, with the wide windows and stuff like that. And then you got the houses in West Baltimore, well, factories in West Baltimore, basically Southwest Baltimore. You got the different areas, just historic places, Fed Hill, Fort McHenry, shipyards, and different places like that. The Flag House, museums. It's just a beautiful place, to be honest with you.
And you get to see it all because you're in all of those different types of homes and
yeah, definitely. And it's always awesome to go in and say, wow, especially like when you do like a total gut, like you go into a house and you see how, a lot of the houses are, blocked off, different rooms are closed up. When you open it up, right? And you'd be like, wow, it's just a blank canvas. So you can do whatever you want. You see, like, houses are awesome here in Baltimore. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but yeah, we love Baltimore. Like, I don't think we've never thought about leaving, maybe to do a job, but
or vacation, but
or vacation. Yeah. but yeah, Baltimore is the place for us. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think, part of my passion is being, as you said, part of the solution and being part of this regeneration where these older homes are getting new life. And you are like that tip where you are the very first part of making that dream possible. So thank you for your work. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again. This is Stefan Baker with Realize It First and LeeAnn Blanchard from Boots in Baltimore. We'll have more interviews for you soon.